The German team, yeah, DE Deutschland is here with me. All set. I have few people coming in, but our gentleman, another gentleman of the day is in the house. I hope you can all see him. Moses Acquah is here doing a powerful job. I think you were also on Hop In as well some few weeks ago. They had a 3-day event, successful event, and I'm happy to have you here again on our platform. And Liz is here as well. She's the one moderating on the day. And I'm going to hand over to Germany people. Well done, Germany. You did a great job. Organizing things. So together with Hilda. Hilda, as soon as I leave here, you can join the team here as well. And we have Cornelia also, who is on the way. We'll log you in as well as soon as I get out of here, and then make sure the event, the ceremony of Germany can continue. And guys, let us know if you can hear. Are you ready for Germany? It's the last one of the day, and then we start going for entertainment. Yes, yes. Oh, people are already answering my outfit. Yes, I can see you all. You all know these ones, don't you? Yeah. Yes, yes. Thank you. Yes, we are ready for Germany. Welcome, German team. You're getting a lot of energies here. Yes, Sharonda, you made it. Well done. Now we are live. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook. You can also see us on our website. You're also live there. You want to see all of what is happening. German team is here. They're all ready to get going. And I will not take too much time so that you can go. Liz, you're muted. If you can unmute, let me know whether you can hear me so that I can hand over the stage for you to get Germany team presenting. Welcome, Germany.
Yeah.
You're muted. You're muted. Liz, you're muted. Unmute yourself.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Sharonda. Thank you for joining. We are waiting for the Liz to unmute herself so that we can get started. On your side, you need to unmute yourself, then you can start. So just not to, because on her side seems to have some issues. Let me see whether she can unmute herself. If you cannot, just log off, log on. I'll get started here since I know all these people here, and let you log in again because we cannot hear you. And welcome, Moses. How are you? The gentleman of the day. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much. And I'm really honored to be on this program. I would say great work. I was actually listening to the last session. It was very inspiring. And I have to say that there are a lot of things that, of course, for men, we also need to learn so that we can be able to share with our mothers, our sisters, our daughters. So it was definitely an insightful session. Thanks to the Holland team. And I'm very excited. It's time for Deutschland. Let's do it.
Yes, you can. You can. Thank you so much. Sharonda, welcome as well. Introduce yourself.
Thank you so much for having me on this platform. I am originally from Dothan, Alabama, which is in the United States. I have been in Europe for about 12 months. It's such an honor to be on this platform with everyone and to see the fashion show and the Holland team. That was amazing to me. And so I'm just ready to rock with the German team, and let's do this.
Yes, let's do this. And I'm going to go straight to Moses to get, as I wait for the Liz and the other ones to prepare, because I'm also in Germany. I'm actually part of this group because that's where we are organizing, making sure that everything. Moses, you're the founder of AfroLink, right? Yeah. Tell us a little bit about AfroLink so that people are aware of what you do.
Right. Thank you so much, Joy. So AfroLink is an impact investment venture. It's a non-profit organization that I would say came out of a key need, and the need being that we want to give back. AfroLink has 3 pillars, which is innovate, connect, and accelerate. Basically, with innovate, we want to transform ideas into product and services. Connect, we want to bring everyone together, and I'm very happy that we are here together with Acquah as well. And basically, for us, we say we do not compete, we collaborate. And so connecting with each other, connecting with the ecosystem, connecting with investors, connecting with policymakers, connecting with our own peers is what we believe in. And the last is to accelerate. And with accelerate, what we look at for is definitely technology acceleration. We believe strongly that technology can make a lot of things go forward. As you can see, with regards to this pandemic, we've had the chance to still be able to connect. And we've been doing that now. Of course, with Hopping, we did our conference not so long ago. And I'm very happy to come back to Hopping again. We also do the accelerate with what do we call infrastructure. And of course, this is where we work with corporate bodies that can provide the infrastructures that we need to be able to speed and accelerate our business. And the last but not the least is to accelerate financially. We need capital to accelerate. And so AfroLink has always been a strong advocate of making sure that they can lobby as much as possible to get the right funding and support that is needed for entrepreneurs and startups within, actually, I would say Europe, focusing on Africa, and also in Africa. I always say one thing, that normally when we talk about Africa, sometimes we forget those that actually are living outside Africa, but have the heart and the desire for Africa. And so we make sure that we do not forget them. And so, yes, we are, as an organization, we believe it's a network organization. So we never stand alone. We stand always together with other organizations as well. And that makes us stronger. That makes us go forward. And personally, I'm always honored to be part of such initiatives. And I'm always for everyone. So please do not think I'm only as AfroLink. I support each and every organization that has the heart and mind for Africa.
Wow, that's what I believe in, because I've been seeing you had a very strong, and I've been following you up with what you're doing in the past, how can I say, the past almost 3 years now with the AfroLink, right?
Yeah.
And I was one of your guests, I think, in one, and it was so powerful, the networking, the startups that you support in Africa, that you bring them over and they get mentorship, they get accelerators to help them get started, and you're supported with the government as well in terms of making sure. I love that, because when you build, it's so important that you also campaign on that we have to really support, teach people how to fish.
Yes.
That's
Absolutely.
the message we want. We want to teach people, bring all the knowledge you need. We gather it here, we bring it back home in Africa, and you're in Ghana, and that's where you also support. Also Africa in general, the whole, I see you traveling all over country, and this is amazing, amazing. I can't catch up with you, and I'm so happy Corona has made us grab you to have you here. Yes. And I can see the topic for today, because it was about building a customer-ready product for the African market. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. So thanks once again. I would want to definitely take this opportunity to share one beautiful story. I have worked very close with investors, and one of the things that we've realized is that every time that we have what we call investment committee meeting, it is where we say that's where the cards are put on the table, and investors are supposed to make a decision which startup or which business they want to invest in. And one of the beautiful stories that I want to share is a company. I don't know if it's okay to mention their name, but they are in the agri sector. And I remember when this startup came to me and said he needed 500 euros to be able to start a product. And I was of the view that I kind of started talking to him in terms of making sure he understands the customers and not only thinking that he just wants to go and help people because they are needy. And again, this was a startup that he was an Indian founder thinking of poor people in either India or Africa. And I said, that's not your market. You need to rather look for people that are willing to buy your product. And in the very beginning, he thought it was a bad way or an arrogant way of me telling him that I'm not going to give him the 500 euros because he felt 500 euros is nothing. Why am I talking too much and not giving him just the money to go ahead? Long story short, after taking him through that rigorous, tough questioning of who his market is, why he needs to focus on the customer, he was able to go to pitch to what I will call, he was able to go and pitch at an agri accelerator program where he got rather an interest from an Italian company that is into tomatoes for him to produce over 50,000 solar sensors that would tell the farmers what to do for their plantations in Italy. And so what do I mean? What I mean is that normally it is very important for you to focus on who your customers are, not only just think of the fact that someone is poor, you want to help, but think of who is willing to buy your product. And again, when you have someone who is willing to buy your product, investors are always more than happy to invest in your business, invest in your product, because there are two key things investors look out for. One thing is investors are looking out for how can they double your product or double your market share, or how can they get a share rather of what you already have. And so it is very, very much important, especially for every African entrepreneur, to first and foremost understand your market, understand your customers. Again, I'm just going to use the opportunity to start just explaining some key steps. One of the main things that we always say is that if you have a great idea, it is good, but understand which market you're going to play in. Once you understand which market you're going to play in, please try to prototype, try to pilot what you have. Ask people what they are willing to pay for that. And normally what is very important is this, that you do have friends and family that might want to believe in you. That is one good thing, but be very careful that people don't just motivate you just to go because they are relatives. Because sometimes the problem we have is that a lot of our entrepreneurs get encouraged wrongly because mom has to support you whether you're going to fail or not. But try to go beyond friends and family and ask again, is there someone who is willing going to pay a cent for it? Now, what do I mean? If let's say you take a product, let's say you want to sell, I mean, people know this, especially for the ladies, shea butter. If you want to sell shea butter and you think that it's a good product, you want to really sell it because it's healed the skin, it is great for the values, but who is willing to pay for it and how much are they willing to pay for? And let's assume that you get someone who says, I'm willing to pay only €2 for a cup of shea butter. That means that you need to then understand what kind of process you need to go through in being able to sell this cup of shea butter to this person. And this is where entrepreneurs need to then understand. Once you understand the cost and the price for your shea butter, then you need to then know how the process is. And this is where I call the process evaluation. Can I just rather order from a friend who is selling it not for, maybe if the person says €2, someone selling it for 50 cents, so that I don't need to go through the entire process of going all the way to the farmer who makes the shea butter, to come to the packaging, to come to the pricing. And so it is definitely very important when you understand what process evaluation you have. Once you understand the process evaluation, you then understand the fact that your business is viable. And to be honest, imagine you come to an investor saying to an investor that, hey, I have this wonderful product. I get it for 50 cents. I sell it for €2. This becomes a viable, interesting product that an investor believes in. Whatever business you are doing is customer focused. It's towards your clients. You understand who is willing to pay for. And again, once it's customer focused, you don't need to lose or lower down the standards. Make sure that your standards are as high as possible, because pity can sell, but pity cannot sustain a business. People would be nice with you to say, okay, I want to just give you something small because we believe in you, but it would not sustain their business. It is quality standards that would sustain your business. And this is why it's very important for each and every one. Before you look for any big investor, look for your customers. They are your first investors that will come with you and that will help you sustain your business and build it to the next level. Joy, over to you.
Wow, 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 wow. Yes, I love that, the way you explained there. We as startups, we have to be organized. That's a very true thing. Thank you, Hilda, for joining. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. I can see Liz has joined again. Liz, can you hear us?
Using my phone. Got kicked out.
Yes. Well done. Well done. You're perfect there. So I hand you over back, Liz, and you can continue from. We have just talked to Moses. Moses had talked a little bit about. I hope you heard us. Moses, your side is getting a little bit dark.
Yeah.
Yes, and Yes, and so I leave you, Liz, to carry on as I try to get one more person in.
Should I continue with Sharonda?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So sorry, guys, I got kicked out. So welcome once again. My second guest is Sharonda Grandberry. She's an amazing lady. And first and foremost, I'd like her to introduce herself to our viewers. Sharonda, can you hear me?
Thank you, Liz. Thank you. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, and you?
I'm good, thank you. Can you introduce yourself to the viewers, please, so that they know who you are and what you do?
Yes, my name is Sharonda Grandberry, and like I said earlier, I'm originally from the United States. I've been in Germany for about 12 months this month, and I'm just excited to just share what I do and, you know, be on this platform. I'm originally from Alabama, as I stated, and I'm a plus size, full size stylist. So on top of that, I have a full-time career that I have. So my speaking today would be more centered to the entrepreneur and the person that hasn't quite left their job yet. And so that's me. So I have a full-time career, a full-time family, and I am a partial entrepreneur on the side. And my business offers, well, we're women. We do a lot. We do a lot. And so as long as we maintain and balance, I think we can do that. My business offers confidence counseling and style image consulting. And also I just launched this month some fashionable pieces that I will carry inside of my styletique. I'm not a boutique, but I'm a styletique.
Amazing, amazing. So my question to you is, like, as a serial entrepreneur, what are some of the difficulties you have whereby you're pursuing your career and at the same time your passion?
So for me, some of the difficulties that I've ran into over the years has been time management, for one, because if you're having a full-time career and you're trying to pursue your entrepreneurship and your passion, time management plays a big key. So time management, self-care is number one, because if you're not taking care of yourself, how can you fully take care of your business? How can you fully take care of your career? How can you fully take care of anything that you have on your plate?
And I'll tell you, self-care, I will see you get in.
Yes, I'm in now.
Can you see yourself on the
I
screen?
can see myself on the screen now.
Okay, mute your phone, your button. Just mute it.
Sorry.
Because there's somebody else speaking. I yes. See you in. Good. All
Thank
right,
you. Bye. Bye. Thanks. Bye. Sorry, guys.
Continue. Okay, no problem. Continue.
Well done, Cornelia. Welcome.
Thank you. Sorry for the hiccups.
No problem.
So Sharonda, can we continue from where we left, please?
Yes, some of the difficulties that I've found was self-care, time management, balance, and also support. So if you do have a full-time career and you're chasing your dreams, your passions, and you know your entrepreneurship, it will be somewhat difficult in the beginning to manage everything. So what I find and what helps me best is to think of my career that I'm currently in, because my regular job that I have, I write contracts for the U.S. government. Mm-hmm. And so what I think, excuse me?
No, it's no problem. You can continue.
So I'm sorry. So what I think of my full-time career, I think of my full-time career as a funding source for my entrepreneurship. So I manage, in the daytime, I manage my full-time career. And in the evenings and some late nights, I manage my entrepreneur, my passion per se, what I like to merge into. So I don't necessarily see my full-time career as a burden, as some people tend to want to quit their full-time career and they're not in the position to. So I tell them, see that as a funding source, continue to save your money and continue to work your passion. I've been on the stages in New York. I've been in magazines. I've been on the cover of magazines. I continue to work my passion over the last 4 to 5 years while having the full-time career. Now, I just launched my business piece. I just launched my business piece where I have material to offer to my clients. And so as I'm doing that, I'm getting additional income to come in so that I can transition from my full-time career over to my entrepreneurship in a full-time capacity.
Wow, that's great. So what can you tell us about self-care?
Self-care. And for me, self-care, you have to, because my plate is so full, and I imagine everyone else's plate is just as full. So self-care for me is finding that time. If you have time, say for instance, you have an hour of lunch, do a 30-minute massage, do a 30-minute meditation, do a 30-minute prayer, and then do your 30-minute lunch if you have an hour for lunch. Self-care for me is continual throughout the day or continual throughout the week, because if you don't pray, I'm a woman of faith. If you don't pray or if you don't meditate, how can you really have that balance? How can you really have that foundation to help, or that source to help you continue on the journey of being the entrepreneur or having the full-time career? So for me, self-care are the massages, the meditation, the prayer. Sometimes I do, my little shopping because I am a fashionista. So I do my shopping, but you have to do those things. And also reading. Knowledge is power. Reading a book once a week or reading every 2 weeks, but you have to fill your cup up in order to pour your cup out.
That's amazing. And for our viewers out there who would like to know how they can manage their time, what can you tell us? How can we do it?
Okay, some of the
time
tools,
management.
Some of the tools that I use, Google a calendar. I also have a journal that I use. I write down my daily tasks, because if I don't manage my task on a daily basis, I'll get sidetracked for the things that I need to do within the day or the things that I need to do within the week. So I have a journal, I have a Google Calendar, and I also use notes on my phone. So I'm constantly writing down what it is that I need to take care of, what it is that I need to do, and what it is that I have already done. Never get ahead of yourself. So never, and I say never get ahead of yourself. You want to make a schedule, but you don't want to make the schedule where it makes you so frustrated or it makes you so tired that you feel like you cannot complete it. So I always write down my daily task. I always write down my weekly task. And then I try not to get more than 6 months in advance.
Wow. That's amazing. I hope our viewers out there got something from what you've said about journaling, writing notes, and preparing everything in advance. So what would you tell us as a last word? Did you hear me? Sharonda? Can you hear me?
I think Sharonda is frozen.
I think she froze.
She can't hear too. So should I continue with Sasifin? Then I'll get back to her later. Yeah?
Yes, I think it's better.
Okay. So our next speaker today is Cornelia Hentschel, popularly known as Sasifin, and she's going to talk about the wealthy immigrant. Cornelia, welcome.
Good afternoon, ladies. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you're watching us from here in Germany at our summit, which is very unusual, a virtual summit this year because of our global situation. Thank you all out there for joining us. Hopefully you all good. You all guys have started your day as good as I have. It has not always been like this. This is one thing where I say, hey, this time has really pulled us to have another view in life. And I'm telling you, getting up in the morning with a grateful heart this is where we all have to start. And I must tell you now, it has not always been like this. Arriving in Germany for the second time in 2004, I thought I had it all figured out. I left Germany late 1993 and ended up staying back home in our beautiful two-ocean city, Cape Town. The weather was good. I didn't have to deal with the minus degrees anymore. And I stayed back home, although I had a job which was waiting back in Germany for me. After 10 years, life always happens when you are making other plans, you know. The German language, while I was being back home, I tried to keep the language alive by keeping my German friends back home. And this is how I was able to speak the language when I came back after 10 years. When I was back in Cape Town, I practiced the German language with my friends, of course, but I also took the opportunity to teach au pairs coming to Germany, Austria, and France, the German language, and just to get along in their normal au pair life back in Europe when they arrived back here. After arriving back in 2004, this Southern girl called Cornelia Hentschel, she thought she's well equipped, prepared, being an immigrant in Germany. No one warned me that this Vula German that I was talking was not enough to start a career back in Germany. So just remember, I've been away for 10 years. My first appointment, where I had to have all my papers done, thought that they understood. They actually thought they understood what I want from them. But after I left the office, I realized they didn't even understand what I wanted. Okay? They helped me, they were friendly, but I walked out unsatisfied. Task complete, next customer, please. This is how I felt as an immigrant. I walked out and said, this is not what I asked for. So many people were telling me before I came back to Germany, don't worry about your German if it's so broken, you know? There are so many big cities in Germany like Berlin, Frankfurt, Hamburg. You go in there and you get a job. You don't need to know proper German. To my surprise, these companies were not looking for single mothers with school-going children who are trying to get back onto their feet again. Oops. So what do I do now? Okay. I have a little bit of a problem. Cornelia Hentschel, who arrived after 10 years and thought she had it all figured out, had to deal with a reality situation. Back as not knowing and thinking she's equipped, she has to start from scratch again. Enough money to survive, but no one has warned me that life will be much more expensive coming back here with a child and your rand. You know, we have South African rand. So nobody warned me that when I left when it was still Deutsche Mark. I came back and it was euro. So this was, everybody was saying to me, hey, what are you doing? What kind of money are you spending all the time? It took me a very, very long time to realize that I'm living in euro and not in Deutsche Mark anymore. Okay, happy days are all gone. Have to reset and rethink, how do I deal with life? You know what it felt like? It felt like this life, to come back here after 10 years, this life is a big trap. Okay, so next solution, I have to move on. I've decided to be back in Germany. Next move, I have to find a solution. Okay, so I went out and started talking to different immigrants. I asked them, people, where are you at? What are you doing? And then I realized that 70% of the migrant people around me, they were cleaners and domestic workers. And then I said, excuse me, darling, I come from a mother who has worked very hard to give us a good education. And she obviously, this was not her intention, that I come back to Europe to be a domestic worker. Then I started going around and asking immigrants, just questions. I started questioning people. I asked them, how long have you been here? What have you studied? What have you done? And then I realized that my situation was not special. There are so many people who are educated and cannot work in their profession. And then I thought, no way, there is something missing here. There's something that needs to be done. So then I'm in a big city. I started asking questions. I started asking people for advice. I landed at a huge NGO, very long NGO called Maisha. This lady, Virginia Greiner, she's a very active woman in the community and on the political level as well. And then I started to ask her, Virginia, how can you help me out? I'm an educated woman. I have my profession. How do I move from here? And I bugged her because this thing about immigrants coming here and not having the chance to practice their own profession, I thought, no, there's something wrong about this. So I started asking questions, okay? Because I was asking so much questions, she sent me to another powerful lady called Wendy Elsner. And she said, you know what, well, Wendy Elsner, she's from your country. Maybe she can help you, okay? Now I'm thinking, okay, maybe this woman can help me. Maybe I can start in my job again. But a problem I have to be certified on a European level. I started to look to get my paper certified. And because I didn't get my paper certified, I started asking questions again. When I got finally my paper certified, it took me 8 years just to go into doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay. Yeah. It was a very, very long journey. It was very difficult. Yeah. But it was possible. You know what problem I had is like so many professionals were out there and they were not accepted doing their job. And I had to find a solution. Okay. Today, so yeah, as a South African, we are 2 women, Wendy Elsner and Cornelia Hentschel, trying to find a solution. And she got me onto the politics because I was interested in getting into the politics of this. I want a solution. We are too many foreigners back here. Okay, I got into politics because of Wendy Elsner, and we started making change with a lot of Africans who has been living here for a long time. Since last year, I am part of a very big network of professional Germans in Germany, and also on the board of director of Immigrant. And what we basically do, we are dealing with the lives of immigrants and making change. Up till today, the professional immigrants do not get properly equipped. And this is exactly where I was at as well. We are not getting professionally equipped, and the politics has done enough. Yeah. So now we have to get the professional people and the politics together. And how do we do this? And because of this need, because of this big need that we have, I decided to launch the Wealthy Immigrant. There's only so much that can be done on government level. And because of this need, I decided to launch the Wealthy Immigrant. All the work on government level is all great. This is all great, but it is time to close the gap. Government has come a long way meeting the needs of the immigrants. The question is not how do we close the gap, but how do we as immigrants do this? And this is what this is what the Wealthy Immigrants is all about. Yes?
Cool.
As professional immigrants, we all want to have a happy and fulfilled life, you know, all of us, because we have all worked hard enough. It doesn't matter which profession you're in. And the Wealthy Immigrant is about, our focus is to get the immigrants setting down their roots, how to integrate properly, and how to eliminate the income disparity. To get hold of us and my team, I'm not going to be that longer. I see already Joyce pushing me for time.
I know.
To get hold of us with a Wealthy Immigrant, you can get hold of us under info@thewealthyimmigrant.de. Not DE, we are in Germany, so it is de.de. And our website is under construction at the moment. It will be up and running soon. And this is how you can get hold of us.
Amazing. Yeah, thank you so much, Cornelia.
Wow, thanks again, and all our guests for being there.
It was great having you here. Our time is up. It was an amazing, just hearing what your organization is doing. And I think I'll hand over to Joy now because our time is up. Yes. So Joy is going to introduce our next speaker. Over to you, Joy.
Speaker. I thought we are finished now. Now we are actually, can you hear me well?
Yes, I can.
Yes, I think we have done all the speakers for today. And Moses, I think you're still there. If you have the camera, we need the man in the house to be on that for today with Germany. And I want to congratulate you all. I can see a lot of comments. If you had time to go around the stage, I can see, well done, Team Germany from Eva and like to get information is important from Eva. And I find it really important to learn the German language when you are living here. Yes. Very important. I did the other way around, and I catch up with this catching up. Our Germany support from Frankfurt. Yes, Frankfurt are in the house. Hamburg are in the house. I can see somebody saying, well done, Cornelia, for the information, Sharonda as well. Quite a lot of back information here on the stage and on the event. Thank you, everybody who have been here to support the German team. And guess what? We did it! That was the last presentation. Back Germany, you did so well. Sharonda just dropped off because her camera went overheated. It can happen. It can happen. What does technology tell us? We can do it if we plan early and organize ourselves earlier. So I'm going to thank you as Cornelia, and I'm going to thank you, Liz and Hilda, who worked so hard to make sure that this program came up. They brought the guest, Moses, Acquah. Thank you for being with us here. It was such a pleasure to have a man in the house. We always love to have men here. And they're always there. As you can see, they are very powerful men and doing great work. And we need to support our men as well as much as they're working as African women.
Thank you, Moses.
So that's the spirit. That's the spirit. As you can see, I've changed my clothes now, guys. It's time to party. But before then, I know I promised you the DJ is getting ready as we speak right now, but we need a closer. So I'm going to release you, Liz and Moses and Cornelia, and you are going to go now to networking. If everybody was inspired with what they said, meet all of them at networking session. We'll be going there right now, and expo as well, as we prepare for the closure. So thank you so much for joining me, and congratulations, Germany. You made me proud.
Bye.
Thank you so much.